The flight had been smooth for hours, a cradle of soft hums and gentle turbulence. Passengers slept, read, or stared into the endless clouds. In row 12, Emma Harper, a 36-year-old single mother, finally allowed herself to rest. Her head leaned against the window, exhaustion etched into her features. For the first time in weeks, she felt safe enough to sleep. But then, the captain's voice broke through the speakers, calm yet trembling. "Ladies and gentlemen, is there a pilot on board? Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening." The cabin froze. Conversations halted mid-sentence. Coffee cups stopped halfway to lips. Fear spread faster than turbulence. Emma's eyes snapped open. For a heartbeat, she thought she'd misheard. But the silence that followed, heavy and suffocating, told her she hadn't. The captain was asking for help. The man trusted with their lives was in trouble. Emma's heart pounded. She was a commercial pilot. Or rather, she had been. 2 years earlier, after her husband's sudden death, she'd walked away from the cockpit to raise her daughter. She'd sworn never to fly again. The pain of memories too heavy, the responsibility too consuming. And now here she was, 30,000 feet above the Atlantic, 100 souls waiting for someone to stand up, but she didn't move. Not at first. Her fingers dug into the armrest. Questions tore at her conscience. What if I fail? What if I freeze? What if they die because of me? The weight of fear was unbearable, pressing her deeper into the seat. Then she heard it. A child's voice, fragile and trembling. "Mommy, are we going to fall?" The words came from the row behind her, but they could have been her own daughter's. Emma's pulse surged. She unbuckled her seatbelt. The quiet shuffle caught the attention of nearby passengers. Murmurs rippled through the cabin, whispers of hope clashing with doubt. She's going. Does she know what she's doing? Eyes followed as she walked toward the cockpit, each step echoing louder in her mind than the engines themselves. Inside, the co-pilot was pale, sweat dripping from his temple. The captain sat slumped, struggling for breath. It was clear he couldn't go on. The co-pilot's voice shook. "We can't do this alone." Emma slid into the empty seat, her hands trembling as they touched controls she hadn't held in years. Her mind screamed with doubt. But beneath it, muscle memory stirred. The storm outside roared, winds clawing at the aircraft. Every bump rattled her bones. She felt the weight of 100 lives pressing against her back, the trust of strangers she'd never meet again. Her voice steadied as she spoke, more to herself than anyone. "I can do this." The co-pilot adjusted, following her. Led. Together, they recalibrated, engines responding like a giant waking from slumber. The aircraft steadied. For a moment, silence filled the cockpit, broken only by the breathless relief of those inside. Then came the hardest part, descent through violent crosswinds. Emma's hands gripped the yoke, every nerve alive with tension. The runway appeared. Through rain-streaked glass, a narrow strip of salvation. The plane dipped, jolted, steadied again. Seconds stretched into eternities. Her mind flashed images of her daughter, waiting at home, never knowing her mother's secret battle at 30,000 feet. She whispered a promise under her breath. "I'll see you again." And then, the wheels met earth. A violent jolt, a scream of tires, and the impossible became real. The aircraft slowed, sliding into safety. For a moment, there was no sound. Then applause erupted, raw and unrestrained. Strangers cried, hugged, clapped until their hands stung. And in the center of it all, Emma sat with tears in her eyes, her heart lighter than it had been in years. Because courage isn't about being fearless. It's about rising when the world needs you most, and kindness doesn't vanish. It waits, and it finds its way back. She had boarded as a passenger. She walked off as something else entirely. Proof that sometimes, the hero we're waiting for is the one already sitting quietly among us. If this story moved you, share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this one. Your support means the world.